When Mallory was asked why he wanted to climb Mount Everest, he replied, because it's there. Because it's there. The challenge was enough to entice him to go and do it. And as human beings, we have this inner urge to go and do difficult things for the sake of doing them. Now, the challenge ended up killing Mallory, but we often see it in our own lives. Why did I run a marathon? Because the challenge was there and I knew I could do it. So I went and did it. And when it comes to video games, you need to have mountains for people to climb. You need to have some sort of challenge to entice people in to go and completing your content, right? Video games aren't just press the button simulator. You press the button and the numbers goes up. Holy cow, what a game. That was Cookie Clicker. There was one of a kind. There's no challenge in it, right? And especially in a live service game like Star Wars The Old Republic, when you don't have mountains to climb, people get unhappy. There's been an increasing trend in Star Wars The Old Republic to pull away the mountains, as it were. For example, in hardcore raiding scenes, why is there any incentive to do anything other than hard mode R4? Hard mode R4 isn't that difficult. Like, I don't want to burst anyone's bubble here, but the operation, not that hard, right? But it's the only operation that gives you any sort of reward in the form of, high level gear. All other operations give you the same gear that you can get out of a hard mode flashpoint. Why would you ever go do Gods and Duxon? Now, of course, there's the simple challenge behind Gods and Duxon, which is why I'm currently doing content like that, because it's challenging, but there's no really good reason to go and do it. They stripped out the rewards from high-end PvE. Why? We've lost it. Now they're doing the same, essentially, with PvP. They just announced that they are removing ranked from the game and instead throwing everyone into a regs queue. Now, before all the reg stars in my comments say, oh, what a glorious day, the ranked PvPers have lost their rankedness, just remember that all the PvPers are now coming to a war zone near you. And all the times that you were unhappy that they were out there numbers farming instead of doing the objectives, they're coming back. So have fun with that. There used to be a pen to hold all the degenerates in, and now that pen has been busted open and they've been loosed onto the world. And the mountain of ranked PvP is now gone. Why did I want to queue ranked? Because the mountain was there to go and do. It was a challenge. It was interesting. It rewarded skill. And now it's replaced by a bunny slope that you can walk up. Or you can probably pay cartel coins to hop on the ski lift and get carried up to the top, like they did with the other progression systems. The mountains are being stripped away from us, which is difficult to see. And instead, the content that we're getting are these long, grindy progression systems that started off with the login rewards, which, like, to be fair, they weren't that great, right? The rewards, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. But that's not content. Like, great, you managed to punch in your password and launch the system. That's not a challenge. It's hardly anything. Well, what's a step up from that? Maybe like Galactic Seasons, where you can progress down a very long moving track by killing 25 core slugs, or doing 8 points worth of hard mode flashpoints. Or you can wait and then pay credits or cartel coins to catch up, so all your grinding was for nothing. Cool. They are removing mountains and adding these grind systems. And now PvP has fallen the same way. Because if you thought that regs PvP was toxic before, if people are screaming about objectives, now imagine that there is a massive track attached to completing your war zones. Not just a weekly anymore, but a massive long track with cosmetic items at the end. And now all the ranked PvPers are in your war zone. Have fun with that. I don't think it's going to be good. It'll be something. It'll be something for sure. And it just feels like they're stripping away all these incentives. And I understand why they're doing it, right? I understand that ranked is seen as this very toxic place. But if you're going to sit here and tell me with a straight face that there is no toxicity in any other aspect of SWTOR, you are blind. You have not been paying attention to your own community. Ranked gets picked on a lot because it can be a toxic place. I personally have a lot of fun there, but it's a very small community and no one defends it. Regs PvP, I get more angry whispers out of Regs PvP than I do out of ranked. And that's someone who does a lot of both. Very toxic. Flashpoints. There is couple of individuals that do nothing but choose lunacy every morning and then queue master mode flashpoints and then berate all their teammates and then leave 24/7. It happens all the time. Nobody cares. No one talks about that toxicity. No one talks about the operations and PvE toxicity that happens all the time because it's very clicky. No one cares. No one's like, oh, delete high-end PvE. RP toxicity? Oh my goodness. If you want to talk about like drama-filled toxicity, check out RP guilds. All the time. They blow up and implode. No one talks about it. No one cares. But ranked PvP, that's when it's got to go. So, kind of just sucks. Kind of just sucks. And what's really unfortunate is that like the issue in ranked PvP is that the learning curve is way too steep, right? Because you have all the people up here that have been playing for the last 10 years and know exactly what they're doing all the time, what you should be doing. And then all these people that are entering into it with absolutely no knowledge whatsoever. And the pool isn't big enough for there to be a smooth transition between the two. The learning curve is a cliff. So what's the solution to that? It's practice fields. It's offering unranked 4v4s where people can queue up and then learn how to play in a 4v4 environment instead of just like objective farming. They're implementing that solution and then they're taking away the ranked. They've tossed the baby out with the bathwater and now I have no bath and the baby's dead. Great. There's just less and less reason for me to come and play the game, which is the cold hard truth of it. And frankly, if I'm not raiding, I log into raid and then I log off immediately. And once those raids achieve their goals, I'm out. Just like I need to go get my food off of the stove. I'm out. So, tough times. Tough times. Hopefully you guys have a better day than I do. And I'll see you when I see you. Ta-ta.